Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Giovanni, and I'm here with another bag review. And I gotta tell you something, that this is probably going to be the last parent bag that I review for a number of reasons. Number one, my daughter is getting old enough now that I don't really need a specific parent bag for her. And number two, this bag does it all. So you may not be familiar with this one. This is a bag that's currently on pre-order. It's from a company called Huhu, and they're just coming on the market. Meng Li, who is the creator and designer, so one-man shop over there, she's the one who's making this bag. She's up and coming, and she actually reached out to me when she was first coming out with her prototype to see if I'd be interested in looking at this bag and giving her some feedback. And I have to tell you that at first I was a little apprehensive to do that, because over the last few years that I've been reviewing bags, I've actually had some bad situations where creators or makers have become resentful because I have critiqued one of their bags. And I get it, you know, these are their babies. They put time and effort and money into creating these things, and who am I to come in and say like, hey, I didn't like this thing? But you know, that's kind of the business, right? So when she approached me through email to have a conversation about it, I was a little apprehensive. And man, I gotta tell you that I'm glad that I did, because having a conversation with her, I saw that she wasn't just somebody who was just a maker who was looking to create something in a market, but she's a carry enthusiast. Man, we talked about materials, we talked about design, we talked about hardware, and it was such a cool conversation that I was really looking forward to going into this bag. So this is the Huhu Parent Bag. Their website is meethuhu.com. So meethuhu.com. And before we get into the review, I do want to have this disclaimer that the only way that I agreed to review the bag was if she knew that I was going to give an honest, genuine, sincere critique, meaning things that I like, things that I don't like. So she early on gave me the go-ahead to say what I wanted to say in terms of this bag. So this is my opinion. I'm not being forced to say anything good. I'm not holding back anything bad. So I just wanted to give that disclaimer out there. So this is a parent bag. It doesn't really look like a parent bag when you kind of look at the silhouette of it. It's very sleek, very modern looking, nice silhouette. It's a 20-liter pack, and it's made, the outside and the liner is made out of 100% recycled poly. It has a nice feel to it. I actually like the way it feels. I've been using it now for, I would say, close to a year, more or less, about 8 months. And it's been great to use. So let's go through the outside of the bag, and then we'll go inside, and some of the things that I liked and some of the things that I didn't like. So right when you see the bag, it has this sleek design, this silhouette to it. Then you see this purple colorway. This is one of the things that I told her I would like to see a little bit more variety to. Right now I think they only do purple, but I told her that as a guy, I didn't feel super comfortable wearing purple, but obviously that's subjective. You know, a lot of guys may not care about wearing purple, but I asked her, you know, it'd be kind of cool maybe to have orange accents, of course, orange, white, blue, green, yellow, maybe some other accents for these little things. So like the branding here, the zipper pulls, the pull here for the top. So very sleek. You have a zipper here. It's kind of thin, so you can't put like anything bulky, but it is pretty good for like a wallet or some wipes or anything like that. The zippers are all YKK zips, super smooth, right out of the box. So let's go to the side. So right here on the side, you have a 4-way stretch water bottle pocket. And I found that I can fit just about anything I needed to in here. Coke bottles, the baby bottles, my wife's water bottle. And one of the cool things about this bag is that it's symmetrical. So what you see here, like this right here, is also on this side. So dual water bottle pockets, which I think as a parent bag makes a lot of sense. And then behind the water bottle pocket, there's this little side pocket. It's a side pocket that also has, this one has a key leash, but then also has like a little additional little dump pockets as well. So I didn't personally find these particular pockets useful because of how modular I pack my bag. But that's not to say that another person wouldn't use these pockets. I actually find them to be very clever, very useful, hypothetically, for other people to be really useful to maybe put some glasses in here or some other things that you need as a parent. And like I said, it's symmetrical. So that pocket there is also a pocket here. So really neat. So now we get to the back panel. The back panel, you have this top handle, and this was really one of my main critiques of the bag, is that I really didn't like the top handle. But this is an easy fix, right? It's not that it ever came off. It's not that I worried. It just didn't have a premium hand feel to it that I expected from a bag of this caliber. And it's a minor critique, but it's one that I told her, and she said that in the next iteration, she will beef up this top handle. Now, when it comes to the shoulder straps, you'll see that the shoulder straps are actually pretty wide. And that was actually a really good design decision because she didn't make the shoulder straps to be super padded. They're not bulky. It's not like a pillow. They're actually pretty thin, but it is padded. But what's nice is that the thin padding that's here, plus the width, actually gives us a really comfortable feel. I never felt uncomfortable wearing this bag. In fact, I really enjoyed it more than other dad bags or parent bags that I've tested over the last couple of years. So then you go in here into the back panel. There is 2 strips of, they're fairly dense foam. There's not a ton of give. And then there's supposed to be what presumably is an air channel. And one of the critiques that I told Meng is that if she is going to have this back panel, that maybe raising it up just a little. But of course, there's always the debate, do air channels actually do anything? So for a lot of people, maybe that doesn't really matter. I personally didn't find it to be a big deal, but it is something that I know that a lot of carry enthusiasts and people who are into backpacks are going to look at. Maybe for the common consumer, man, they really do not care about this. But I felt that this was comfortable enough. I never really got a noticeable sweaty back. But then again, I live in Miami and it's like 1,000% humidity here and 95 degrees, 98 degrees. So even then, it doesn't matter the air channel. I found that to be comfortable. So in general, as a parent bag, as a bag of this caliber, I found this to be a great implementation of shoulder straps and a back panel. It's a good harness system here. So let's go into the front. So how do we open this thing? So we open it through pulling on this tab and lifting up. And it's kind of interesting because when she told me about this mechanism, I was skeptical. I was like, man, you could do like a fidlock buckle here. You can do something really interesting. Maybe like even like that mag latch that Peak Design does. But she was like, no, this is the implementation that I'm going to go with. And I was like, oh, okay, you do you. And then as I started using this thing, I found this to be super useful because it closes magnetically almost instantaneously. And then to open it, it's like one-handed opening, no problems. It's super easy. I'm actually surprised that not more people use this mechanism to open and close their bags. Okay, so what makes this bag unique? Okay, like I said, again, symmetrical. So you have a zipper that runs all along the bottom on both sides. And what that does is it gives you complete access to the bag. Awesome. So what do we have here? Here within this slip, you have where you would put a changing pad, or in my case, I'm not really using changing pads anymore since my daughter is potty trained. So we can put other things in here. Sometimes we would put snacks or other random items. On the other side here, you have this mesh pocket with a nice zipper pull on it, nice mesh pocket. So here you have this entire section. This could actually be used as on the fly improv. You can actually use this as a changing pad, but you have access to the entire cavity here. And one of the cool things that she's done is that she's created a hidden shelving system. So here you pull this Velcro up, you attach it to the side, and when you close this up again, let's close it up. And let's say that you only want to open it side access. You have access to the bottom. So if you have maybe like a raincoat, a jacket, something that really you don't use very often, but you want to keep it separate from everything else, you have like this little shelving system here that works pretty well. I used this a few times when going to the beach and going to the pool, but for the most part, what I did is I kept the shelving down because I wanted maximum amount of space for the rest of my stuff. So inside you have two pockets, again, 4-way stretch that go all the way down to about here. Same thing here. Then you have an additional mesh pocket here. So you can see here that there's a ton of organization. There's a ton of different places that you can put things in. It's really a bag that is saying, I'm gonna get out of your way. I'm gonna give you access. I'm going to allow you to pack how you want, and I'm going to be as frictionless as possible. And if you've listened to some of my other reviews, friction in the use of bags is how I determine a lot of times how I like something. And to us, my wife and I, this was a bag that didn't require a lot of thought to use. It just worked. And it was easy to use. It was a joy to use. In fact, we're going to Ireland in a month, and I asked my wife, I'm like, hey, so what bag do you want to take for our kid? And she goes, oh yeah, we're gonna take the Huhu bag, of course. And to her, it was like a no-brainer that this was the bag that we were taking. So we really, really like it. So let me close this up again, and I'm going to put it on. And then we'll talk about a couple of the critiques that I had with it. But let me put it on. All right, so this is the Huhu backpack. And again, there's also some strap keepers here, which I like, which is a nice touch because not a lot of bags have that, but you have some little strap keepers here as well. So the Huhu bag. So you see like nice shoulder straps. What I also liked was that there was minimal branding. So you have branding here, which is not a huge deal. I actually kind of would prefer if this, instead of being white, that it was maybe blacked out with the purple lettering or whatever color lettering matched the other accents. And another thing that I told her is that for a parent bag, I felt that these loops were kind of a weird design decision, because on one hand you have this very sleek, very urban and modern design, but then this is kind of tactical, and I didn't feel that it was super necessary. So I asked if maybe in another iteration of it, she can remove these. And again, these are not deal breakers. These are not things I would be like, yep, I'm not gonna get that bag because of those loops on the strap. That's not a thing. But for me, if I wanted to make this a better product, those are some of the things that I said should be looked into. So one of the things that I also mentioned to her, aside from the back panel being lifted up, is there's a zipper port here, or a zipper garage, that is presumably meant to open this up for quicker access to the bottom. I didn't feel that that zipper was really needed. I felt that for the most part, whenever I did need to get side access to something, I would put this bag on, or I would flip it around, and I would just grab what I needed from the top. I mean, it was easy because as soon as you flip this around, this giant zipper pull is here, which is real easy to get what I needed. So you see, like, that access was really easy, right? And it's cool because a lot of the things for this bag, you can do it one-handed. So you need to open this thing up. Just open it up, grab what you need. So aside from the bag, there's a couple of accessories that the bag comes with that I thought was kind of clever. She has these like pouches that have see-through. And at first I was like, man, that's really weird, a see-through pouch. I actually would have preferred something insulated, but her reasoning, and I get it, that's actually, you know, again, clever, very thoughtful, was by having this clear pouch, you can see what's inside. You can see what food is there, what's in this pouch. You can put toys in here. It's not just for food. You can put anything in here. And then there's a little flap if you want to, like, maybe some privacy as to what was in the bag. You could put that in there as well. So these pouches actually became fairly useful. So when we were testing out this bag, even now, we use these along with an insulated lunchbox that we got from a previous review. And with that, we've been able to pretty much go anywhere with our daughter. So again, this is the Huhu Parent Backpack. Like I said earlier, this is probably the last parent bag I'm going to review because I really don't need another bag. This bag does it all when it comes to being a parent bag. And it says it's 20 liters, but you saw that main cavity. This thing is huge. You can fit a ton of stuff in here. So let's say that, you know, your kid grows up, you know, because that's one of the main complaints with parent bags is that you're buying this special made bag for a person who really is only going to need the functionality of that bag for 2, 3, 4 years maybe, and then you can pretty much use whatever bag you want. And even after 4 years old, 5 years old, this is a bag that you can just use. Like, there's nothing on this bag that screams, I'm a parent bag. This is a bag that I can easily see somebody going into an office with. I could easily see somebody taking this on a trip. In fact, look, I said we're going to Ireland with this trip, and chances are the majority of the stuff that's going in this backpack is my wife's stuff. Yeah, we're gonna have my kids' stuff in here, like her food and, you know, her binky and some snacks and stuff. But for the most part, this is gonna be the bag that my wife uses to travel. And when I took it with me to some road trips and things like that, man, you know what? I found it to be great. One downside though that this bag doesn't have, it doesn't have a laptop sleeve. And that's something that depending on what your use case for it, it can be a plus or a minus. I was indifferent about it because I never used a laptop with this. My wife never used a laptop with it, so it never really bothered us. But if you have to have a laptop sleeve, then this might not be the bag for you. But then again, I would argue that if you really need a laptop protection that bad, then just buy a laptop sleeve. I would actually venture to say that this bag does the job so good that I would just recommend just buying a laptop sleeve so that you can use this bag to the way that it's supposed to be used. So again, guys, give this bag a look. If you're looking for a parent bag, if you're looking for something that can be a parent bag, then later just become your bag for everyday use, that has excellent access, symmetrical design, very sleek, great materials, great hardware, easy to use, and at a good price. Plus, you are supporting someone who is a carry enthusiast, and you're supporting somebody who is doing this because it's their passion. They really want to create an awesome bag. And I can feel that through all the communications that I've had with Meng, and I think that it's worth giving a look. Like I said, this is my honest feedback. She never forced me or pushed me to say anything one way or another, but yeah, that's how I feel, guys. You know how I roll when it comes to these things, and I would recommend giving the bag a look. I think right now, as of October, she's in pre-order for this bag, so awesome. Give me a like and a subscribe. I really appreciate it. Next review, we have some really cool stuff coming. It was a bag that we did a first impression of. Now we're going to do a full review. All right, guys, take it easy, and I will see you soon.